They are going to be on the vault. All right, let's give you a look at the standings after the first half of this competition. After the compulsories, Russia, the United States is 1/10 of a point behind them, followed by Romania, Ukraine, China, and Belarus. We will just see the top 4 teams. China and Belarus competed earlier as we get a look at Carrie Strug on the right of your screen and J.C. Phelps. The competition will begin with the Americans on bars in a moment.
NBC's coverage of the Centennial Olympic Games is brought to you by Bell South, keeping you ahead of the game, and by Haynes and Haynes Herway, proud sponsors of the U.S. Olympic teams from head to toe.
Will compete on bars, all 6 team members. There are 7 team members. They're allowed to use 6 members on each piece of apparatus, and then you drop the lowest score, which leaves you with 5. And remember, the Romanians only have 6 team members, so each one of them will have to go on each of the 4 pieces of apparatus.
We talked about the importance of the first competitor. They start the move, the whole, a lot depends on this young lady. And remember, she had a fall in the compulsory competition off the balance beam. So for herself, she needs to put in a great exercise to start this Team USA off right.
JC is 16 years old, training in Cincinnati, Ohio with Mary Lee Tracy, who's also one of the Olympic coaches along with Marta Karoli. You can hear the floor exercise music from the Ukrainians in the background here.
John, I talked about the strength of this U.S. team on this particular event. What I meant by that is they have difficulty throughout the entire routine from start to finish. There's no dying out in this routine. Very well composed exercises.
Relatively new dismount for JC. Handles it well. J.C. Phelps gets the Americans off to a strong start.
In her first Olympic Games. And that is pressure personified.
Tim talked about a relatively new dismount. She actually unveiled this dismount at the World Championships this past year in Puerto Rico. It's a double front salto. This is where she usually ends, but she cranks in a half twist. That's new. Very impressive.
6 judges from 6 different countries. They will throw out the high and the low. JC will sit and wait for her score while the next competitor on bars for Team USA, Carrie Strug. And a 9.787, a tremendous start for the United States.
Remember, scores tend to build, so that is huge right off the bat.
Carrie Strug, 18 years old. Remember her from the Barcelona Games. Also remembered as the gymnast edged out by pre-Olympic favorite Kim Zemesco for that 3rd and final American berth.
First big release skill out of the way. Carrie has one more planned.
She was so solid in compulsories.
Solid.
You can hear Bella Karoli's voice, her coach, in the background.
Watch this dismount. When it's great, she usually sticks it.
This is huge for the Americans. High five for Carrie Strug from Bella Karoli.
In their wildest dreams, they couldn't have imagined it have been any better than this.
Svetlana Khorkina on vault for the Russians.
Step back on the landing.
Remember, the women in this competition get 2 vaults. The best one counts.
Shannon Miller got chalk in her eye during the bar warm-up. She's been rubbing it for a while now.
John, that happens, and it basically blinds you.
She also has been nursing severe tendonitis in her left wrist that kept her out of the Olympic trials. Shannon holds a world title on the uneven bars. And Carrie Strug has been working with Karolyi for years. She bounced around to many different gyms after the 92 games. Horkina, a 9-7. And Carrie Strug score a 9-7, 8-7.
I talked about great composition. Bella Karolyi has done a good job choreographing this routine. She's tiny, but she can fly on this event. Now, pay attention to the dismount. I don't know if she's going to do it. She may unveil a new dismount.
Only 14 years old.
She's actually a little bit tighter today than I've seen her. A little tighter form. Here comes that big dismount. Full twisting double layout.
Hold on. Those are her parents, Dimitri and Camelia Moceanu. Three huge routines in a row for the Americans.
That's what we're talking about. No, that's from now on. All right. Yes. Yes.
Don't go away.
The people of the South are a people separated by mountains and bayous and fields and cultures. Perhaps that is why there's such a Southern love affair with communication. Our ability to communicate is what connects us to other people. It transcends our differences and our distance. It brings us together as individuals, as families, as nations. So it isn't surprising that these Olympic Games are happening right here. In the home of the company whose telecommunications system is powerful enough to make these the first Olympic Games of the new information age. Bell South, the communications company with its roots in the South, but its reach to the world.
Why? Why?
Every day, I see something new.
There are beautiful pictures in all of us.
The speech is always changing.
Now, Kodak introduces a new technology that will let you take those pictures further than you ever imagined. A whole new kind of film for a whole new kind of camera. A film so advanced it loads like this. Gives you a choice of 3 picture sizes, so you can capture the world just as you see it. Kodak Advantix film and cameras for the advanced photo system. Take pictures further.
Welcome back. Moceanu's score is up a 9-8-1-2. That means a 9-7-8-7. 2 of them, and this 9-8-1-2. 2 more good scores, and the Americans could pass the Russians after this rotation. As Amy Chow is next.
This routine is simply incredible. This is her forte. She has the most unusual skills in this routine. It's just plain old neat.
Amy's 18 years old from San Jose, California. Remember, she had that horrible crash on the balance beam head first in the Olympic trials. Got up and finished the routine, and that's the only reason she made it here.
Boy, not a mistake so far from this entire U.S. team, but the highlights still to come.
Get ready for this dismount.
Double twisting, double somersault, 2 flips, 2 twists.
The Americans are nailing it, and the crowd loves it.
This truly is a team of superstars. We've been reading all week long in the paper, coaches from different countries saying they have no weakness. Certainly none right here. 2 flips, 2 twists. Incredibly difficult, just a small hop on the landing.
We're going to go over to Russia on the vault now. Yelena Grosheva.
I don't necessarily think this is a strength for the Russians. People have been asking, gee, what about the Americans starting on bars? Is that a disadvantage? She has had difficulty on this event.
Big hop forward there, Alfie. Big hop forward. And I think a little bit of what's happening is the Chinese men, they came out so strong.
9.837, the highest score thus far for the Americans. Shannon Miller. And if the others were great, she is quintessential bars. Keep in mind, the best finish for the U.S. in a fully attended Olympic Games is 3rd as a team in '92. The Americans are in 2nd. One at a time, one by one, they are cranking it.
This team is hot, John. They are absolutely on. It appears they want it. They are going after everything.
Steve Nuno, Shannon's coach.
Beautiful job. All right.
What happened last night in the men's competition, the Russians came out, put a lot of pressure on the Chinese. The Chinese folded. We're seeing the Americans come out extremely strong.
The Romanians are doing very well on beam. We're going to try and get you over there. Well, the Russians have been having their problems on vault. They've been averaging on beam, the Romanians, about a 9.7, almost a 9.7. While the Romanians are in beam, the Russians are in vault. The Ukrainians are in floor exercise. The Americans will next move to beam. We just had a fall on the vault for the Russians.
Rosa Galieva, big fall.
Just moments ago, Rosa Galieva.
You know, the Russians were practicing earlier this morning. A lot of tears on this team.
The leading Russian. Watch this.
Misses her hand right there.
Oh.
And there is no way you're going to put that to your feet after that happens.
Galieva's first fault, though, was a 9.675. Shannon Miller's score is long incoming. The scores for the Americans have been incredibly high.
John, when the scores come up so quick for every gymnast and then they slow down, that means there is a discrepancy. The judges are discussing it.
The crowd is waiting and chanting. No. .9787. So nothing lower than a 9.787 for the Americans on bars.
Steve Nuno pointing to the score. He's probably very confused. It's very low.
Dominique Dawes in her second Olympic Games. Saw that graphic, the oldest member of the team with a lot of experience.
And when this young lady hits this set, She absolutely flies on her release moves. I don't think I've ever seen anyone take this skill that you're about to see coming up on the high bar as high as she performs it. Watch this.
Right here.
They call her Awesome Dawson. She is that. USA on the move to try and upset Russia. Her score is coming up.
Dateline Sunday.
I've seen these men destroy innocent girls.
It's called moral cowardice.
Dateline every Sunday.
I had lost a breast and it wasn't cancer.
Winner of more 95 Emmy nominations than any other news program. Dateline Sunday, every Sunday after the Olympics on NBC.
Eddie Chopper 4. Chopper 4. Channel 4, go for it!
The News Beat, where local news comes first.
What are you doing today? Picking up the kids? Doing a little shopping? Just getting away from it all? Before you do anything, check out the new Jimmy. It's so powerful, so luxurious, and so thoughtfully designed. It makes everyday driving something to look forward to. And right now, you can drive the new Jimmy for just $309 a month with $19.99 down for 30 months.
See the new Jimmy at Art Moran Southfield, Rinky Warren, or Somerset GMC Truck, Troy.
A lot of places have special offers. Problem is, they never seem to last.
Then there's a Total Frequent Fueler card that works all the time.
It automatically keeps track of every gallon you buy.
Then pays you back $5 in gasoline or other things you want.
And you get more points when you buy Unlimited Plus or Premium.
Gasoline you can have confidence in because we refine and test it ourselves.
The Total Frequent Fueler card.
It's our way of saying thanks every day of the year.
Imagine a world without limits, where anything is possible. That's the world of the AT&T Global Olympic Village, where people can reach out and share their experiences face to face. Because when people communicate,
We're back in the packed Georgia Dome. Dominique Dawes has just received her score of 9.850. Let's go down to Beth Rouillet.
If it looks like it's been all USA here this week, it's not been the case for Romania. They got here and an athlete went down with an injury. They have had problems because they had an early morning rotation and started out so early in compulsories. The coach, Octavian Bellew, has complained about everything from transportation to his girls' sleeping schedule to the judging scores. So tonight, as you see all the American flags and you hear all the cheers, think about this night from the Romanian perspective. In good times, they grow up twirling and cartwheeling. Romanian children all seem to play gymnast. And their imagination takes them to Deva, the place where those twirling dreams can come true. Where they can become the princesses of gymnastics. It is a place that makes world champions. Where they can become this, a team that's won gold or silver in the last 5 Olympics. They are the country's biggest celebrities, but they're teenagers. Did you think they would be so different from teenagers here? They're a family, and their togetherness shows up everywhere.
one Father, and they call him by name. They mark life in medals and the sparkle of victory. But in those eyes, you also see the Romania that isn't a fairy tale. This is downtown Bucharest, another place Romanian children know about. And these are the leftovers of a brutal dictator named Nicolae Ceausescu. He created a skeleton city, and with it, thousands of orphan children. Babies with AIDS, and kids living like this. But Romania is a nation of believers. And in that faith, students led a Christmas revolution in 1989. Boys and girls overthrowing a government, dying for freedom. And so on Sundays, parents clean the grave markers of children they have buried, children sacrificed for a future. How much a Romanian child has already known. Dark nights and a return of sunshine. These are lessons that aren't supposed to be learned until adulthood. And what of the dreams? Before, gymnastics was a tool the government used to decorate its image. Now, it is the inspiration of hope and healing. New faces to celebrate something so Romanian, and in each, a reason to believe. Tonight, as Romania reaches for gold, the kids will look to Milo, Lavinia Milosevic, for strength. In Simona Amenar, they see a gymnast of grace. The sparkle is in Alexandra Marinescu. She's the one they compare to Nadia. And from Gina Gogin, the lesson of perseverance. Look into her eyes. She is the face of the nation. It's a team that's put together by a man who has lived in a one-room dormitory for 15 years, Octavian Belu, who keeps the dream alive.
And now, yet another face of the country of Romania, Alexandra Marinescu. She is the youngest member of the team here, but she is also considered to be the most proficient. She has been compared by the entire country to Nadia Comaneci. And Nadia has said she is flattered by that comparison. The beam awaits her.
The beam was the one event that caused so many problems for this team. However, Alexandra was wonderful, wonderful on this event. Top score.
The Romanians have endured many hardships here in Atlanta. When they arrived to train, this young lady, Ana Maria Bican, seriously injured her knee. You see her leaving the hospital earlier today. Seriously injured her knee, had to have surgery, and she was out for the games. They lost another young lady, and now they're only competing with 6. All the rest of the teams on the floor have 7 members. The pressure is on for Alexandra Marinescu. Marinescu on the balance beam.
In this competition, John, all these ladies have very difficult elements. It's just a question of who can stay on.
These are the optionals that count the remaining 50% that will help decide the team gold. We had the compulsories 2 days ago. These are the flashier, more difficult exercises for the women.
Oh, she's fighting. First serious tumbling series.
Very artistic gymnast. The Romanians are having an incredible run on beam here. We're seeing great gymnastics all around this gym.
You heard me mention that problem with Anna Maria Vican having surgery on her knee. Also, Lavinia Milosevic, team captain, sprained her ankle. Andrea Kokovan suffered an injury. She did not make the trip to Atlanta. They were, as soon as they got here, demoralized.
Whoa! And that was close. Very, very close. Almost sat that down and would have been a mandatory deduction, but somehow held on.
Also, Tim, I've noticed she took out a major skill that she's been performing all week long. It was a full twisting skill, very risky, but here on the dismount, almost sat this one down.
The Ukrainians were in 4th position entering this first rotation, and Lilia Podkapayeva is next to go on the floor exercise. You heard the same music over and over again the last couple of days in the men's and women's compulsories. You may select your own music for the optionals.
She is my favorite gymnast in this competition because she combines the artistry with the athleticism so well. Watch this first tumbling pass. Incredible. Double front with a half twist.
Keep in mind, the Americans are finished on bars. They will rotate next to the beam. The Russians are just finishing up on floor. To date here, the Russians in this rotation faltered on the vault. The Romanians faltered on the beam. And the United States were near perfect on the bars. That means the U.S. could move into gold medal position after this first rotation, depending on how the Russians finish up here.
That's out of bounds, 1/10.
'95 world all-around champion Lilia Podkapayeva. The Russian coach, Leonid Arkayev, has said that she is the female gymnast he misses having the most in the post-Soviet breakout.
You know, John, her coaches want her to be an actress out there on the stage, and this was quite a performance. Just put on some point shoes. She looks like a ballerina out there. Absolutely beautiful. What a treat. But the final tumbling pass, this is really a shame because she prides herself on sticking those landings. This was the final run, one step out, but that means 1/10.
She's marching to her next rotation before she gets her score. By the way, Alexandra Marinescu's score on the balance beam was a rather low 9.60. And so depending on Podkapayeva's score on floor, a 9.762, so it will be close to see who is in first place after the first rotation. As the standings come up, and yes, the United States has taken the lead away from Russia for the first time in history. 3 more rotations. They will be on the beam when we get back.
This is Delta's new terminal at Cincinnati.
Bars, they have now taken the lead away from Russia. The U.S. is in gold medal position. That's the good news. The bad news is, Elfie, that they are on balance beam next.
And remember, the balance beam was the event that caused them so many problems in compulsories. Anything can happen here.
The balance beam coming up for the Americans. 6 girls on the beam when we get back.
This is the place for it, just for the taste of it, just for the look of it, just for the feel of it, just for the feel, just for the feel, all dying cold, for making memories when it's just you and me, just for the taste of it, Diet Coke.
I throw a 9-pound shot put 51 feet. I bench press 155 pounds. I jump further than all but 128 men in the world. I have red toenails.
This is big news. This is unbelievable. I gotta let everybody know.
Join Friends and Family free and get 1 free hour of calls automatically every month to other MCI customers. No names, no lists, free calls every month. There's no better savings than free, honey. Call now to sign up for this new plan, Friends and Family free. Free calls, whoopee!
In '63, a child genius was placed in the center to live forever.
He's already demonstrating more talent than any of our others.
In '96, he'll escape.
He's a pretender.
I can be anything I want to be.
Thinks he is some kind of vigilante, getting even for the little guy.
A new hero is out there.
I am not going to be your little science experiment anymore.
The center wants him alive.
Preferably.
Saturdays this fall, the masquerade begins.
You a doctor?
I am today.
The Pretender, NBC Saturdays this fall.
It's the first must-see TV family comedy.
A traditional family dinner. What do you guys say?
I was supposed to have dinner with my dad and stepmom.
Couldn't you do that another night?
But what if we're just gonna be Dad and Mary Ann, with Mary Ann's son from her first marriage is getting married for the 2nd time? His fiance has her kids for the weekend, so they're coming. And Grandpa met this really nice black woman in rehab, and they're both coming. So I'm afraid Dad would be pretty hurt if I didn't show up, because I think he was hoping to have a traditional family dinner of his own.
Something so right. Tuesdays this fall on NBC.
Welcome back. And if you are a fan of the United States, do not go anywhere. They are in first place for the first time in history after 1 rotation in the team competition, the final here at the Olympic Games. And what's happened is the Romanians are making a chase on the Russians. They are about 4/10 of a point behind Russia. Russia is 4/10 of a point behind the United States. The United States will be warming up on balance beam. They have taken Amy Chow out, so she will be the odd person out because she has had some problems on the beam. She had a serious problem back at the Olympic trials. Watch very closely her head here. She slips and strikes her head on the side of the beam. She had a nice knot after that, and had she not gotten back up and finished the routine at the trials in Boston, she would not be here today. What a courageous fighter.
Oh, it was incredible. She basically did that routine with one eye shut. And the reason why Amy's off beam as well, John, is because she has a lot of difficulty in a routine, and I think it's a little risky to take those chances in today's team competition. There's room to err. This young lady is first up for the USA. She's typically solid and consistent.
We should tell you that the United States' biggest problem in the compulsories was on this piece of apparatus.
And typically, John, the first athlete sets the stage. I think if Amanda Borden goes up there and doesn't just make it through, but does a good routine, it'll settle this U.S. team down for balance beam.
She has the nerves of being in the Olympic Games. She has the fans screaming, and she has the blaring music of the Romanians on floor exercise to contend with. Amanda Borden.
competition coming up right here. This will set the stage. Gosh, she looks confident. Amanda may not have some of the more exciting elements that we're going to see later on from this U.S. team. But as I said, it's so important to be on first one up.
It is so easy to doubt yourself just a little bit on beam, and when you do, you don't necessarily fall off, but you have what's called a balance check, and I don't think she's had one thus far.
Amanda's 19. She narrowly missed a berth on the Olympic team 4 years ago.
Just the dismount. She has done her job. That's what they asked for. She delivered.
The countries that are challenging the United States are Russia just behind them and Romania. Ukraine in fourth position. We'll be following those stories for you.
I tell you, I have seen Amanda Borden compete many times, and this is no exaggeration. This was the best beam routine I have ever seen her do, bar none.
She is looking for that score. 9-7-2-5. She'll take that one. The United States has not had a score lower than that yet. Her training partner, J.C. Phelps, what she's looking at is a piece of apparatus that tripped her up 2 days ago. She fell off the beam in compulsories. The whole team was shaken. It took Shannon Miller to get up there and do a near perfect exercise to settle everybody down. Let's watch.
It was so uncharacteristic to see J.C. fall in compulsories. This is what we're used to seeing. This is the kind of work she's capable of.
We just had a fall off the uneven bars for the Russians. 4 things going on at once here. U.S., Russia, Ukraine.
That fall will give the United States a little bit of breathing room.
J.C. Phelps was 24th as a junior. 3 years ago, she almost quit the sport.
Whoa.
While J.C. was on, the Russians, who are in second place, Yelena Dolgopolova, watch.
Very difficult element we're going to see, but it doesn't matter how difficult it is. If you fall off the apparatus, it is 5/10 of a point right there.
The score is coming up for J.C. Phelps. This place is breathless.
You know, though, John, I'd be surprised if it went up here. Amanda was so strong out of the blocks, and J.C. just some slight little balance checks.
We'll take a break. We'll be back with her score in a moment.
There's a place. It's not on any map. But once you're there, you'll know. It's a sanctuary where imagination is law. borders, pure fantasy. And the natives are quite friendly. So visit whenever you like, because this is your journey. We just make the arrangements. U.S. satellite broadcasting. You can see everything from here.
So where's our leader?
She'll be here. She's meeting with someone about her personal finances.
Wait a minute, the chief financial officer needs financial help. From whom?
I think it's her life insurance agent.
Really? So what's the agent's name?
When you find out, let me know.
Have you heard from the quiet company? Northwestern Mutual Life.
Everybody sees things in a different light. New Kodak Advantix film and cameras with IX record light information in a whole new way to make automatic adjustments for backlight, indoor light, and flash, so your pictures can be the best you've ever taken in just about any light. Kodak's advanced photo system, Kodak Advantix. Take pictures further.
Tomorrow night, the men's gymnastics individual all-around final. Vitaly Sherba, the king of Barcelona, looks to add to his 92 collection of 6 golds and repeat as world's greatest male gymnast. But can he withstand the challenge of Russia's Alexei Nemov? Plus, American swimmer Allison Wagner goes for gold. The Dream Team and more. Tomorrow night, early at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific on NBC.
J.C. Phelps' score on beam, a 9.60.
So as I said, the score did drop. Typically they are supposed to go up. You put your stronger gymnasts later up in the lineup.
And Tim, it was because of the dismount.
Carrie Struggs up there now. If you've not heard us say it before, this thing is 4 feet off the ground, 4 inches wide.
Look at the face. She is not giving up.
We have seen Carrie Struggs' confidence grow almost logarithmically this year. She's had a couple of great opportunities because of athletes being injured. At the American Cup, she was able to win the title.
Started with that first big international win at the American Cup.
Bella Caroli. Before that, it was Bert and Melanie Strug, her parents. She's on her way to her coach.
That's what we were talking about. All right. Fantastic. Good job, kid. No, that's it. Let's go strong. Sure, why not? Yes.
We've seen him coach Nadia, Mary Lou, and with this crowd here behind Carrie and the rest of the Americans, how would you like to be Milo? Lavinia Milosevic from Romania.
John, she's been around a long time. She is very cool, and this is her event.
She has a swollen ankle that she hurt. She twisted it. She's the leader of a team that is 2 men down, but they are competing with 6. They should have 7 here.
And John, they are not going quietly.
Something's happened. There's either the wrong music or she wasn't ready.
Oh boy, and that
can rattle an athlete.
Her music is supposed to be hooked on America. Octavian Bellew, her coach, is waving his arms just before you saw him there. Well, I guess she just wasn't ready. It's the same music. Behind her is Dominique Dawes from the United States on the beam. Strug's score on beam, a 9.60. 7-3-7. Milosevic knows how to do this routine. She scored a perfect 10 to win the floor exercise in 1992. One of only 2 perfect 10s in the games.